Alright, you guys, so today I have another cooking video for you guys, and this is my homemade lasagna, well, spinach lasagna dish that I just came up with today. I wanted to make a lasagna, but instead of using the regular store-bought lasagna pasta, I wanted to make a spinach lasagna pasta. So I hope you guys are excited about this tutorial. It came out so good. It tasted amazing. So yeah, if you guys want to see how I created this lasagna, spinach lasagna dish, please keep on watching. Alright, you guys, to start off, we're going to use about 2 handfuls of baby spinach. This is organic baby spinach, and we're going to lightly saute it for about 2 minutes. I'm just putting it in a pan with about 2 tablespoons of bottled water. You can use whatever water you like, but I prefer to cook with bottled water. And I'm just going to let that cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. I don't want to overcook it. I just want to kind of steam it a bit, if that makes sense. Okay, and this will just make it easier for it to incorporate with the pasta recipe. Okay, you want to make sure you keep stirring it so it doesn't burn anywhere and it doesn't overcook on any parts. Once you have it cooked, okay, for the 2 to 3 minutes and it's nice and wilted like that, you want to put it aside, let it cool down. Then you're going to take 1 egg, put it in a food processor and blend it up. I use the food processor for another batch of the pasta, so that's why it's a little dirty. But once you have your egg blended up, you're going to add in your spinach, okay, and you're going to blend that up together. You can make it, you know, as I guess thin as you want, but you do not want it to be too chunky, okay? You don't want the spinach to be too chunky, or else it's gonna just be lumpy inside of the pasta dough. So you can make it super thin if you don't want to see pasta pieces in your spinach pieces in your pasta. So for the dough, I'm using 1.5 cup unbleached organic flour. All right, and I'm putting that into my KitchenAid mixer. And I'm just gonna kind of create a little well in the middle and then add in our egg spinach mixture that we created in the food processor. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, you can use your hands or a spatula to mix up your dough. So I'm just gonna let that go on the number 2 setting or number 2 speed. I'm just going to scrape out whatever I have left inside of my food processor container and add it in there. And I also add in a 1/2 teaspoon of bottled water, okay, because I don't want my dough to be too dry. If your dough is super dry, add in a 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, but you don't want it to be super sticky either. It's going to make it really hard to work with. So as you guys can see, I just added in a little bit of the water, which I put in the food processor and just kind of mixed it around, then added it in. Now that it's nice and combined, I'm going to go ahead and take that all out. Then on a lightly floured surface, you're going to take your dough and kind of create a ball with it. Okay, you want to kind of bring all the ingredients together and make a nice ball, you know, round shape with it. Then I put it in a saran wrap, a piece of saran wrap, and I just roll it to kind of tighten it up. And you just put it to sit somewhere, you know, in your kitchen that's nice and clean for about 20 minutes. In that 20 minutes, you're going to go ahead and create your meat sauce that you're going to use in your lasagna. So as you guys can see, once I put it inside of the saran wrap, I kind of twist it to get all the ingredients to come together nicely, and then I just put it aside. Okay, now for the sauce, I'm going to use 1 medium-sized onion, and I'm just going to cut that up. You could cut it up however you like your onions to be cut up. I'm just going to cut it up in these little, you know, pieces, chunks. And then for garlic, I like a lot of garlic. I'm using about 5 to 6 cloves of garlic. This is fresh garlic, but you can also use jarred, you know, already cut up garlic if you don't want to go to the trouble of cleaning garlic. But 5 to 6 cloves for me. If you do not like garlic, you can use about 3 or 2 cloves depending on what you like. Okay, it's a cooking tutorial. It's just kind of like a guide to inspire you to cook something and, you know, make it to your liking. You do not have to do it exactly how I do it, okay? I'm also going to use 2 tomatoes and cut them up in nice chunks. I don't want them to be too tiny. Alright, guys, once you're done with your tomatoes, you're going to go ahead and fry up your 2.5 pounds of ground turkey meat. And we're going to season that up with some pink Himalayan salt. And I'm using about a teaspoon of that salt. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that into the turkey. My heat is actually on medium high, so I can get this turkey nice and cooked. And you can use any turkey, ground turkey you like. This one is 95% lean. Okay, so as you guys can see, I just added the pink Himalayan salt to that. And to fry up the turkey, I used, or to saute the turkey or cook it, I used 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm also going to add in some freshly ground black pepper and some oregano and some pepper flakes. That part is optional, okay, but we're trying to make this ground turkey meat taste like sausage, all right? So mix that in together. Now I'm going to add some fennel seed. This is about half a teaspoon of fennel seed. If you like fennel seed, you could add in more. This really gives it that sausage flavor. Then I'm going to add in about half a teaspoon of paprika powder and mix that in together. Make sure all the seasoning is all over the ground turkey meat. And once you have all the ingredients nice and, you know, incorporated with each other, we're just going to cover that on medium heat and let it cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now that you guys can see it, you know, has cooked a lot for the time. It's cooked really nicely. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our tomatoes, onion, and garlic. Okay, you can add in, you know, red peppers if you like, green bell peppers if you like, celery if you like. It's totally up to what you like to eat. Okay, I'm just gonna mix that up. I'm still on medium heat right now. Then I'm gonna go in with some dried thyme and just kind of take the leaves off of the little sticks. I don't want them to be in there, and just kind of sprinkle it all over and mix it in together. Now sauce, I'm using my Passiana sauce. This is a marinara sauce. It's my favorite store-bought pasta sauce. It's absolutely delicious. It tastes fresh, like it was freshly made. So I'm using the entire jar for this lasagna. Actually it's a very big jar, so definitely bigger than 8 ounces or 12 ounces. I'll actually list the size of the jar down below in the description box so you guys can know exactly how much sauce that I used for it. I'm not big on measuring when I cook. I just simply just cook and taste, usually towards the end, okay? But I just had a little taste, so I needed some more salt inside of my sauce. If you're not into too much salt in your food, do not add it. But I added just a bit more of the pink Himalayan salt, and I also added some dry parsley to my sauce, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix that up again. Now I'm going to cover that and let it cook for about, 10 minutes on medium heat. And then now I'm going to start working on that pasta that we had sitting on the side for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so this is my pasta attachment that goes on my KitchenAid machine. If you do not have one, you can use a rolling pin. You're just going to have to take your time. So our ball of pasta, you want to split that in 4 pieces, and we're going to do each section at a time. We're not going to try and do the whole, ball of pasta all at once. So once you have a section, separated, you kind of roll it out just a bit with your rolling pin if you have the pasta attachment. And we're going to start on the first setting for the pasta machine or the pasta attachment, which is number 1. So I put it through about 2 to 3 times on the first setting. Then I go on setting number 2. And then I move on to setting number 3. Last time I made homemade lasagna pasta, I went to setting number 4, and the pasta was a bit too thin, so 3 is the perfect thickness for the lasagna. Well, for me, I don't like this the pasta to be too thin. So right now we're still on setting number 2, and I'm just gonna pass it through there a few times. I went ahead and added just a bit flour to the pasta dough because it was sticking. You're going to want to do this just to add it so it does not stick to your pasta attachment. Okay, and it makes it a lot easier to work with and keeps it from sticking to your hands. If it's too sticky, that means you just put too much water in the dough. You do not want it to be super sticky. Now I'm going to go ahead on the third setting, and this is going to make it just a bit thinner. Okay, and this is the perfect setting for me for my lasagna. It's a perfect thickness. It's not too thick and it's not too thin. I'm going to go ahead, put that through. If you like a thicker pasta, you could stay at number 2, but I like number 3. As you guys could see, the more I put it through, the bigger the pasta sheet gets. The bigger, the longer it gets. Okay, but I didn't want to speed up this part because I wanted you guys to see exactly how long it would take, just to get this done. So this is definitely something you'll need time to do as far as the pasta part, but the sauce part is really, really simple. Okay, so this, I'm doing the rest of it, and I just speed it up just a bit faster so you guys could see, me do it one more time. And I feel as though the pasta has such a beautiful color when it's freshly made spinach pasta. It looks gorgeous. Alright, now once I'm done with the pasta, I'm going to go back in with my sauce. It needed some more pepper. We like black pepper in my family, so we're going to add some more black pepper. And I also added a half teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay, so I'm just going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to start putting my pasta into my pan. These pasta sheets my son actually helped me make, so that's why they look a little crazy, but it's okay. He's trying. At least he's learning how to cook. Okay, so I'm just going to lay those on the bottom part of the pan and, try to fit them in there to see how they'll fit basically and to see where I'll need to add some little pieces to close any gaps that we might have. Okay, I'm going to go in with a knife to kind of cut them to size. You can use a smaller knife, guys. I don't want you to hurt yourself with a bigger knife. So you can use a smaller knife or you can use some kitchen scissors. And don't mind my dry hands. I wash my hands a lot while I'm cooking, and I'm not moisturizing my hands in between washing, so my hands will look super dry. So sorry about that if it bothers you. Alright, you guys, so I have a little gap, so what I'm going to do is use one of the little pieces of pasta, cut it to size, as you guys can see over there, and I'm just going to close that little gap right there. I want to make sure that, not much of the sauce gets underneath the pasta. So I'm just going to try and close any little gaps that I see with pieces of leftover pasta from the same piece of pasta that we used to line the pan. And just cover them up. So this is how it's going to look. And then now we can add in our sauce. It could be hot. You don't have to wait for it to cool down. So we're just going to add in our sauce. You can do a thick layer if you want to. You can do a thin layer or a medium layer. I'm doing about a medium layer at a time. And spread it out really nice. You guys, you're going to love this sauce if you make it the way I'm showing you, but if you decide to change it, that's totally fine. Just do whatever you want so it tastes the way you would like for it to taste, but it tasted amazing. Okay, once you have your first layer of your sauce down, you're gonna go in with the cheeses that you like. I usually like to sprinkle a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese onto the sauce. Then I go in with my mozzarella, and this is whole milk shredded mozzarella. and it's low moisture also, and I'm just gonna sprinkle that all over my first layer of sauce. You can use any type of cheese you like. You can use whatever you like. It's lasagna. You can do whatever you want. Now I'm gonna go in with some ricotta cheese, which I don't really like to spread. I kind of like to put it in chunks all over. Like I really like when I bite into it and there's just like a nice pocket of ricotta cheese. I don't know, it's just me. But I'm just gonna put that all over my first layer. And I'm just using a spoon to apply that all over. You can use, I believe they have low-fat ricotta, skim milk ricotta, but I'm using whole milk ricotta. Then I'm going to go in with more of my pasta that we made. And, you know, trying to figure out exactly where I want it to go. So that's not where I wanted it to be, so I'm just going to move it over. And kind of gently push down on it, so there's not much air in there, and it makes more space for you to create more layers. Sorry about that, you guys. My camera cut off, but I already put down that layer that you guys were seeing before, but my camera cut off and I didn't realize. So now I'm on my second layer. So pretty much the same thing. We put down our sauce, sprinkled our parmesan, and then added our mozzarella, and now I'm doing the ricotta part, and here you'll see me do the pasta again. So sorry that my camera cut off. I didn't even realize that the camera shut off, so sorry about that. But as you guys can see, once I put the pasta in, I cut it on the inside to the size of the pan, so I don't leave any extra hanging out. The only extra is the one on the side that we applied the first time. I'm gonna go in with my third layer of sauce and apply that all over. Then sprinkle on our grated Parmesan cheese. Choose any brand you like. And then in with our mozzarella. As you guys can see, I don't know if you see the little hand, my daughter was helping me. And with our yummy ricotta cheese. I was never a fan of ricotta cheese. I really wasn't. But my babe got me to like it. So I love ricotta cheese, especially in lasagna. So now we're going to go in with more of our pasta. These long, thin sheets my son actually created, which I actually like because it kind of made it easier to just cover the top, you know? So I'm just going to go in and cut that to size again and gently push down on it. And the rest of the sauce will go on top of that. I'm just going to spread that out. It's going to make like a nice thin layer of sauce, not too thick. And spread it out all over. Even if it's just a little, try to get it all over, okay? Because we're going to cover that with our Parmesan, our mozzarella. And you can add a bit of extra mozzarella to the top because we're trying to create like a crust on the top. So. I also added some oregano to the top. I sprinkled a bit of oregano, and I also sprinkled a bit of dry parsley to the top of the final layer of sauce, cheese, and goodness. Okay, so now you want to put it into your oven at, I had it at 375 degrees for 30 minutes. So this is how it looks. I just put it in actually, and it's about a minute, so it started melting already. Okay, and this would be after 30 minutes of in the oven. And I have an electric oven, by the way. It's not gas. And that's how it's going to look. Doesn't that look delicious, you guys? That looks yummy. Alright, you guys, so this is a close-up. Sorry about the shakiness of the camera, but this is a close-up of the lasagna that I made with spinach pasta. And I think it looks beautiful and it came out really good. Alright, so I'm going to cut into it and show you guys how it looks now. And make sure, one thing I forgot to tell you guys, when you take it out of the oven, let it sit for about 5 minutes, okay? Because if you try to cut into it while it's boiling hot, it will fall apart. So this is how it looks once it's cut into, and I feel as though it's beautiful and it's yummy and it was good. Okay, but yeah, it was delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed this cooking tutorial. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment down below. And if you recreate this dish, make sure you let me know. If you post a picture on Instagram, tag me at Life with Queenie or at Miss Queenie Rosenblatt. And yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye, guys. Oh, subscribe. Bye.